Two VGK mainstays were back on the ice yesterday. William Karlsson set to return perhaps this week, and Shea Theodore returned in a red no contact jersey. We'll have more ahead on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Tony Cardasco, longtime sportscaster and marketing consultant, and along with Chris Golick, owner of Silver State Sports and Cards, collectibles editor for the Hockey News. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. Coming up on the slate today, we will also be talking about Shoot the Stinking Puck and remaining regular season point projections and where we feel that VGK is going to finish in the Pacific Division. We are brought to you today by Monarch Money. You need to check out Monarch. Just use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL for 50% off of your first year at monarchmoney.com. William Karlsson practiced yesterday, full contact jersey. Tuesday, we will see him perhaps coming back for Thursday's matchup against the Bruins at T-Mobile. And Karlsson has now missed 20 games this season due to that lower body injury. We also saw Shea Theodore out there, which is encouraging, in a no-contact jersey. But to see him skating for the first time was really good for VGK. First time since breaking his wrist in the Four Nations. Theo could be returning perhaps by the end of the regular season with 15 games remaining. And again, you know, he could be returning by the end of the season unless Mr. McCrimmon cooks the books again and holds him out due to, are there going to be cap issues with him? That's one of my concerns, no?
Nope. No, the Golden Knights are clear when it comes to everything because no moves were made at the trade deadline. So that's the important part right there with the LTIR pool and everything. I believe everyone can be active, no issues at all. I mean, all this team added throughout the season was Brandon Saad and Riley Smith. And I believe that money was available throughout the season. Lavoie might need to get sent down, any players who are up on the two-way deals and such like that. As far as I think Shea Theodore returning in a red on March the 18th is the answer as to why McCrimmon didn't do anything at the trade deadline.
Oh, because he's going to play. He's playing the winger position. Is that why?
Well, he's going to play sometime between now and the end of the regular season. I think that's the important thing. Shea Theodore seems to be ahead of all the outlooks that were suggested. I don't think there's a world that exists where Shea Theodore is going to be in a red for the next 28 days between now and when the NHL Stanley Cup playoff starts. Traditionally, again, not always, William Karlsson has been about a week and a half now. But a lot of times, once a player is out there practicing, they're usually a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks away at the very, very most. And Shea Theodore's situation is pretty simple. It's a bone issue. We're not talking ligaments and pulls and tears and stuff like that. It's a bone issue. Once the bone heals, when the time is right, you're good to go. I'm not a doctor, but that's pretty easy to figure that side of it out. So this is a good thing. We talked yesterday about how the team has been suffering without two of its mainstays. We'll see William Karlsson likely on Thursday. And I'll bet sometime next week, Shea Theodore, maybe the end of next week, Shea Theodore is on the ice playing a game with the Vegas Golden Knights.
And Karlsson yesterday was skating on a line with Riley Smith and with Nick Waugh, the third line.
Here we go, Nick Waugh on the wing again. Here we go, Tony. Here we go.
Did you think that perhaps Howden should have been on the line with him, or what are your thoughts there?
Howden, number one, has taken a massive step forward in responsibility. He can score goals too. I mean, we joked many times throughout the season that coming to the turn of the calendar year, Brett Howden was the co-lead for goals scored with 15. I think him and Barbashev on January 1st and up through like January 7th or something like that. And obviously Dorofeev and Hurdle have done what they've done since then. So Howden anchoring that fourth line is a very important role. Of course, he's out there with Kolesar, who he's now developed some chemistry with, and Tanner Pearson, who's been very successful in many different roles, including top line left wing throughout the season. So Pearson appears to be this year's Michael Amadio, as far as you can put him anywhere. And I mean, Amadio had top line time. He had second line center time last year, pretty comfortably in the third line. Very similar role with Tanner Pearson down in the fourth line. So Howden, I would not be surprised if Howden and Waugh became interchangeable a little bit as Cassidy sees who fills in best on that third line right winger role.
Karlsson with 7 goals this season in 38 games. They finally shut him down 2 months ago, but Karlsson came back, right? He came back late. He started the season late this year too, so he's missed a bundle of games there, including the last 20 for VGK. And so who knows if it's a chronic injury, who knows if it'll get aggravated again or what's going to happen.
It is a chronic injury, and hopefully the time off helped him, and I think that's important to know.
You think it's chilling now? It's been
I hope so, but it hasn't been all year, so my confidence isn't that high. Quietly, what needs to be talked about, maybe it was on your napkin, I don't know, but Victor Olofsson appears to be a healthy scratch.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
That's interesting.
You thought it might be Pearson over Olofsson, right?
You know, it depends on where you put the players and everything.
Yeah.
The only way Olofsson is not a fourth line winger. Let's be clear about this. You need someone who's going to play responsible defensively and be able to play a physical game. So let's play the game of who we're not scratching. We're not scratching Kolesar. We're not scratching Waugh. We're not scratching Smith, nor are we scratching Saad, Dorofeev, Stoner, Barbashev. Olofsson's the last one standing when it comes to that. And that's interesting because Olofsson's role on that second power play unit now is certainly important. Been on the top power play unit as well. Dorofeev, I think Dorofeev's emergence on that power play has also been part of why Olofsson is a little more expendable than he was. Now, that said, 15 games left, playoffs, injuries are going to happen. We have not seen the last of Victor Olofsson by any means.
How come no one in the presser, asked those questions, since they take a lot of our stuff from our show? How come no one asked Cassidy about the lack of depth or the issues on the top line, or when he's going to even stop, putting all these lines in a blender? Even as Karlsson returns, he still is going. It's still a major void there on the left wing position on the top line. You can't even tell me. Again, they do like to talk about Eichel and Stone and being tired and all that. And he said, "Yeah, it's up to the players," which made absolutely no sense. Like, if you're the coach, if you're the GM, you see them laboring, just sit them down. Like, it's not their call, I would think.
I think that's a communication, an important level of communication through the players and the training staff. No player wants to sit at this time of the year, especially a Victor Olofsson or someone who is on the fringe of holding on to their roster spot. So unless it's a pretty, major thing that's going to severely damper the player's ability to perform, they're going to find a way to be out there, and there may not be a complete transparency from the player to the trainer. And of course, that's when it comes down to the observations of the coaching staff and general manager and doctors and trainers and everybody else to see what's happening out there. As far as the line blender and everything else that's happening, it's an 82 game season. It's going to be ups and downs and peaks and valleys and everything in between. And this is no surprise, no different than last season, no different than the season before. The season before the Stanley Cup year, Golden Knights came shot out of a cannon, and then they were terrible for about a 2-month span from January to February. And then after the All-Star break, they put up a spectacular record. Same is kind of happening this year. Teams started out pretty hot, and their valley, I think, was a little shorter even than the Stanley Cup winning year. The difference right now between this team and the Stanley Cup team is the post All-Star break, or in this case, post Four Nations is the performance level. And this team has not performed at the level of the Stanley Cup team. Now, hopefully a William Karlsson and Shea Theodore return will help that. Your original question was a line blender. It wasn't working for a little while on that left wing, or the right wing for that matter. Eichel was having a hard time finding players to put with Eichel, and that's going to happen. I think this is pretty normal. And now, if the playoffs were to start today, sans, of course, Shea Theodore, when he comes back with his injury, this is your Golden Knights roster that will be competing for a Stanley Cup. End of story.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I just don't know where they're at right now. There's a lot
It's
of
hard.
question marks.
It's hard to get a pulse. It's hard to get a pulse.
It
And people
is.
that think everything's going to be okay, I don't know if I agree with them. People that think it's all doom and gloom, I don't agree with that either.
I don't know. You're absolutely right. We're somewhere down the middle there. And I just think that, Karlsson, though, at the very least, returning will give this team some sort of a boost because, again,
Stability.
it's some stability. It's a familiar face, knows the system and all that. So, but we'll see. And again, historically, it does take players a few games to get back into the groove. So we'll have
No
to
doubt.
see where he's at and if there's a lot of rust there.
We gotta see if
Coming up
Carlson
next,
has a groove, to be fair.
see if he has a groove. Yeah. I mean, he was 7 goals this season, 30 a season ago. Coming up next, VGK needs to shoot the puck more. We know that. Why do the sticks go silent from time to time here in Vegas? We'll talk about it next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. There's nothing like watching basketball live, the energy of the crowd. Holy smokes, I was really into March Madness, even though it was those first 4 games that were happening last night. The sound of sneakers on the hardwood, and maybe even a celebrity sighting courtside. If you want to catch a game in person, Gametime makes getting tickets easier than ever before. They have the new feature, Gametime Picks, and what it does is it filters out all the fluff, and it shows you only the best deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time scrolling through thousands of tickets. And there is easy ticket shopping. I just checked the Gametime app. There's a lot of amazing deals on some huge matchups coming up, and that is your hub for March Madness and for the NBA. And Gametime Picks even highlights super deals, which give you the best bang for your buck. With the seat views that you can get before you buy, there are no surprise fees. This is my favorite thing, where you just get an all-in price and the lowest price guarantee you have as well. You can book your tickets with total confidence. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets today with Gametime Picks. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you'll receive $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it?
Gametime.
Gametime. Okay, he's awake. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out,
Yes.
online shopping, and entertaining, yes, absolutely. And Vegas, your money evaporates quicker than in any other city. I'm convinced about this, quicker than any other city in the world. So it's easy to lose track of where all your money's going. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's your personal CFO. It gives you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you can stop to manage your money right now. Stop it, because this will handle everything, and you can start to build your wealth. When I started to use Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery, just out and about in the city, a lot of tipping going on here, Kurt Hasko. And now I budget smarter and save more. No, I continue to tip, but just saying, your money does go quicker here in Vegas. There's the all-in-one convenience. Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances. You can track your spending and even plan long-term goals. Easy collaboration. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever, and you can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances today. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for 50% off of your first year. Again, use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL and you will receive 50% off of your first year at monarchmoney.com. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights from Las Vegas, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. You can find us wherever you get your podcast. And please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. So just going back through like the last couple of games, Chris. So the Red Wings were ranked somewhere like 21st in defense in the NHL. Buffalo was well below that. So why did VGK struggle, and why were the Golden Knights holding back on shots over the past weekend? 19 shots on net against Buffalo, 18 against Detroit. And you have to wonder if VGK is going through this unselfish stage again, which we've seen in the past. They put 37 shots on Tristan Jarry of Pittsburgh, and then they had a combined 37, right, against Detroit and Buffalo. So you have to wonder why they go south and they don't shoot the puck, especially when they're open. And I know that Cassidy was pretty much talking about some of the situation there with Canada and the Four Nations, where, again, they were talking shoot the puck. They were telling the team, make sure that you shoot, whatever. And now the same dilemma hits home here in Vegas with Bruce Cassidy. Shoot the stinking puck.
25 average shots on goal, 25.75 average shots on goal per game during that 4-game roadie. Of course, that went south in the last 2 games, like you stated. Some interesting notes here I just kind of pulled up, and we'll see if we can correlate this at all. The Golden Knights right now have taken 1,000. This is all courtesy of Natural Stat Trick, by the way. Great website for stats and advanced stats and stuff like that. 1,777 shots on goal, which ranks 29th overall in the National Hockey League. Their 222 goals scored ranks 5th overall in the National Hockey League. They rank 23rd overall as far as high danger chances generated throughout the season. So what these stats tell me at face value is that the Golden Knights don't necessarily need to be shooting a lot because they are creating chances. They're making the most of their opportunities, I guess is what I'm saying. The Golden Knights score a lot of transitional goals, for example. Transitional goals, you don't see a lot of rebounds versus those shots from the point that kind of ping pong in. Goalie might make a save and there's a rebound. You get 2 shots, 1 goal, stuff like that. So to put this all, I guess, to make this all make sense is sometimes the pass first mentality isn't going to work. And you saw that maybe going back to these games really didn't generate a lot of shots on goal. The Detroit game, obviously, will certainly start there. Not enough shots on goal. In a game like that, you'd want to see the Golden Knights get closer to 30 shots on goal and just hope something goes in, spray and pray type of stuff.
Against Mrazek.
Yeah, against a goalie that hasn't had a shutout in 4 or 5 years, exactly. Right, but the day before, the Golden Knights put 19 on net and 3 find a way to score, including one additional. It doesn't count, but 1 additional in the shootout. So it was Detroit just a screwed game on the scheduled losses Coach Cassidy mentioned.
The scheduled loss. That's what they should have asked him about yesterday.
I would have liked to hear more comments about that, but I can assure you,
we're just talking about.
If you bring that up, I can assure you get a phone call from somebody like, dude, that's don't you dare put pressure on the coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you dare ask a difficult question.
If he says it, he's got to be accountable to it.
It's not even accountable. It's just, hey, at what point does that cross your mind, before the game or after the game? That's the question I'd want to know.
Pretty interesting.
The answer I'd want to hear.
So power play has been the calling card for VGK. How about these numbers? So they've been excelling on the power play unit, as we know. VGK 1 for 1 in Pittsburgh, 0 for 1 in Buffalo. Detroit, no power play opportunities, no Detroit penalties. William Karlsson will do one thing. He'll trip on sticks, and and watch. He'll add that. I will give him that. He'll add that component for VGK. But they're not getting a lot of opportunities. And again, this is what has pretty much been driving the team.
The playoffs is where all eyes are right now. Of course, the Golden Knights hopefully are going to wind up top in the Pacific, but the way things have been going, I'm not necessarily sure it's going to play out like that. I believe the Kings lost either last night or the night before, so that's
the
helpful
night
for the
before.
Golden
Yeah,
Knights.
yeah.
But second overall power play. This is just remarkable. This is something we've never seen
It's
before.
Bruce Cassidy's power play unit.
Fine, Coach Cassidy's power play unit. It's 28.85%. So if a team puts the Golden Knights on the power play 4 times in a game, they're going to basically spot the Golden Knights a goal. Once the playoffs come, of course, the penalties usually dry up a little bit. Refs let them play a little bit more. That said, these power plays are extremely important once the playoffs do come. So if the Golden Knights can keep that edge, winning the special teams battle, that's something we hear Coach Cassidy talk about a lot, winning the special teams battle, especially in the playoffs. And that can really spot the Golden Knights a game or two in each round if they can win the special teams battle. You spot yourself even a game in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. That's a team that can go far. Of course, goaltending needs to be a little more consistent, and the defense needs to get their you-know-what together. We can make a case for this team going far in the playoffs. I can make a case for being one and done as well.
Again, I mean, this is an area that they've been very opportunistic in, and they're not going to win games, I feel, in mostly 5v5 because of what they've been doing on the power play unit this season. And I think, a lot of maybe the issues they have about not scoring as much, what have you, again, shuffling the lines and a lack of continuity. Really, you're familiar with the player beside you, but again, to get that timing down and all of that, it takes a lot. It really does.
It does, and it's 67 games in right now. Golden Knights down their last 15 games. So all of that in a perfect world, if the team can stay relatively healthy down the stretch, all of that will take care of itself.
How many points will VGK finish with this season, and will they hang on to the top spot in the Pacific Division? That comes your way next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more. Experts ready to help you to take care of your business and to take it to the next level. And I got to tell you that I have been on the receiving side of Upwork in the past because I freelanced and did some marketing plans and helped out a lot of the local businesses that really needed the help. And they post every day. You can see job postings. And if you're a freelancer on that end, it really can help you out there and get you some work. It gives businesses flexibility by connecting them with the top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. Whether you need extra hands for a project, for a long-term partner, Upwork, whatever it might be, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. Finding the right talent, if you need help with the marketing campaign, you got it. Upwork can connect you with a freelance expert who delivered incredible results. Posting a job for free, it's free and simple. And within a day, with multiple qualified candidates, they'll start coming your way. There's a lot of candidates to choose from. Cost-effective growth. Instead of hiring full-time, Upwork helps find affordable top-tier freelancers to scale my business efficiently. So I've been on both sides of this. It is terrific. You need to check it out today. Visit Upwork.com right now. Post your job for free. That's Upwork, UPWRK.com, Upwork.com to connect with top talent and to grow your business today. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights from Las Vegas, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting. Fridays, don't forget, are WTF Day, What the Friday. Saturdays, sometimes it's the Chris times Chris Jr. Show. Please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We say this every day because there's so many new listeners that jump on board, listeners and viewers. And again, we'd like to have you part of our team here at Locked On VGK. So, Chris, 15 games remaining for the Golden Knights. We told you VGK had 4 back-to-backs ahead and the 9th easiest schedule, which I don't understand how it could be the 9th easiest with those
It looks
back-to-backs.
tough. It looks, but all the
It's
teams got a
tougher
tough
than
schedule.
it's tougher than you think on the surface. Will VGK close with momentum, or will they be limping to the finish line? Right now, as it sizes up, VGK would be playing Minnesota, I guess, right in the first round if the season were to end today. So that would be it. But right now, things are starting to really even up in the Pacific Division. If you look at the standings today, the Oilers are just 2 points back, but VGK has a game in hand there. And then you have the Kings at 5 points back of VGK. First, I feel like VGK will be, I think they're going to fade to second. I really do. I just have this feeling. Maybe it's the fatigue of seeing Edmonton and the Kings every year that makes me want to see a first round matchup between VGK and the Kings. I don't know. And then, if you look at the Kings, they have a game in hand and they are 5 points back. And I really do feel that either Edmonton or LA could pass the Golden Knights. So my guess would be that VGK has to finish in the range of about 106 to 108 points at 86 now. 15 games remaining. 30 points are up for grabs. And I put a total last night when I was going through the schedule and everything of 21 and a hook points that I feel should secure the Pacific for the Golden Knights. What are your thoughts?
I don't think it takes that many points. I think looking at the points percentages, looking at the trajectories of LA and Edmonton, LA starting there, they've been 5-4-1 in their last 10, but definitely not looking the part. Edmonton, 3-game winning streak. Edmonton might be waking up right now. But their consistency has been in question for a long time.
Scored 7 goals in Utah last night, I think.
Yeah,
7,
something like that. Good on them. We'll see if that continues or not. Probably
who
6
got
power
popped?
play
Was it
goals.
Draisaitl? Who got hit in that game?
I saw Draisaitl get his leg tangled up. I don't know if there was anything major that happened as a result of that, because I was searching Draisaitl on Twitter. I didn't see people talking about a major injury or anything, so that's a good thing. That it looked like an ankle break or something terrible, and I don't know how your leg bends like that and you don't tear your ligament, but good on Draisaitl if he's not hurt. That's a good thing. Looking at the remaining games, 30 points up for grabs, 15 points. I said 19
games,
points.
15 games. Yeah.
15 games. Yeah, 15 games left. So I'm going to go 19 points, which is a points percentage of 6.33, which is a shade less than where the Golden Knights are throughout the season at 6.42. That'll be 105 points. I do think 105 points is enough for the Pacific Division based on strength of schedules, based on what the Kings and what the Oilers have done throughout the season as far as consistency. Oilers, watch out. Like I said, 3-game winning streak. This might be that spot where they rip off 6 or 7 in a row, or they might lose the next 4, and I can make a case for any of those happening. But Golden Knights returning to health. I think Karlsson coming back is important. Shea Theodore, I think, is bigger, obviously. We don't know how long Shea Theodore is going to be, but I'll project Shea Theodore as playing for the Vegas Golden Knights by Edmonton April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. I think Shea Theodore comes back by April 1st, and if the Golden Knights can stay relatively healthy down the stretch, they'll be okay. There's some reinforcements right now, and Olofsson and Lavoie waiting in the wings right now. So, it seems like it might all be kind of working out. So, long story longer, give me 19 points down the stretch. Give me 105 overall for the Golden Knights, and I think the Golden Knights will win the Pacific Division.
Okay, so I guess our absolute number on this show would be, the magic number would be 20. Magic number would be 20.
20, I think, is a clincher.
You said 19. I said 21 and a
Yeah,
hook.
We're saying 106 to get you there. I'm saying 105, but
yeah,
we're projecting 106 clinches the Pacific Division.
Yeah, Okay, I said 106 to 108. So I think we're
We're aligned.
we
We're
agree.
aligned. We're aligned.
We are aligned. What's going on here?
I
Something's in
don't
the
know.
air. And then an important 3 games coming up for VGK this weekend to reestablish momentum. I think that is a key here. I think they're going to have to
3 Eastern Conference games. This sucks. 3 Eastern Conference games. Anyway,
well, I mean, Boston fading, Detroit.
right, but Eastern Conference, I'm with you. Give me the West right now. Give me the West right now.
Okay, pretty
To
interesting.
be fair, all the
should.
games are against the West after these 3 games against the
Not
East.
against the Pacific, of course.
Pacific Division is 1,
What?
2,
Edmonton, they have
3,
they have
4,
Anaheim, San Jose.
6 of the last.
So 4 games against San Jose.
6 of the last. Yeah, 4 games against. I wish. Unfortunately, no. Fortunately,
Okay.
no. A lot of
So-
Calgary and Vancouver in our future.
I know we'll be seeing that, including those 2 back-to-backs, which is really bizarre against the same teams, the Flames and the Canucks.
Back-to-back, same
twice.
teams on the road both times.
On the road
it's Groundhog
twice.
Day. It's Groundhog Day.
That's pretty crazy. Just one other thing. Again, you have to factor in down the stretch. I think Cassidy called it the residual effect on Eichel and Stone, and just have to see
the
how
4
they
Nations crap,
respond.
but keep going.
It is. It's the residual effect of the 4 nations. It truly is. And
At least Eichel still perform. What you mean? Mark Stone is like, I don't know. Mark, he got like 6 points, I think, on that road trip or something like that, and people are dogging him. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems like
He doesn't
he's
look the
laboring.
part, but Stone never
No,
looks the part.
he
That's the thing.
never,
He
ever
never
looks the part.
but he does.
You're
But he
right.
gets it done.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers around the world. Of course, tomorrow's Thursday. It is a big day because March Madness. Not March is So Madness this year.
March Madness
will be taken up. I was on a conference call yesterday with my pen, and they go, "That pen looks like enormous." But what kind of pen are you? People kept questioning my pen, so I had to make some emphatic points, like usual. Again, thank you so much. Make sure that you subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. For my man, Chris Golick, I am Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We'll see you tomorrow. That's puny, bro. Your pen. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights, and please take care.